This is Mark Billy Billingham. He served in the British SAS for over 17 years, has been responsible for planning and executing strategic operations across the world, is a certified counter-terrorism instructor, has led countless hostage rescues, as well as much more. Today he's joining us to break down a selection of tactical shooters and virtual special operations.
This is really good. The sound of a round coming close or near you, that one actually gets your heart pumping.
Make sure to check out our previous video where Billy broke down the missions of 2022's Modern Warfare 2, and be sure to check out our other videos including an expert in medieval weapons and armour. If you want to see more of Billy, you can check the description for all the links to his socials, as well as links to buy tickets for his upcoming UK live tour, always a little further. Right, over to Billy.
My first point I was going to bring up is the equipment. It's spot on. With the double canistered respirators, the tinted vision, that's a no-mix suit, exactly the same as what the regiment we do use. Same as the chest rig, very much similar to what we use. Even the colour-coded team, which in that case was the red. You probably wouldn't have the Union Jack on it, but that doesn't matter. But yeah, the equipment and the dress is spot on. I'm having a closer look at the guy in his rig. He's got the enforcer on his back, which again is correct. The weapon he's using, it looks to me like an SA-80. Definitely not used by Special Forces. We use either Ecklercock or the DeMarco, depending on what scenario we're actually in. But that just looks like a bastardized SA-80. And I will tell you right now, Special Forces would not use that weapon. I'll be honest with you, that respirator I've never seen before. I would say that was more of a intimidating type thing, because I can't see where the canisters, any respirator is going to need a canister of some sort. That has no canisters at all. Like sometimes we just wear the disguise, just cotton face mask, which is like, that's more of an intimidation thing. And I think that respirator there represents that. That's more like a sexual aid. And again, the use of these drones is not unrealistic. What we used to use was dogs. Dogs would actually be going forward just as this drone is here with a camera on its head or on its harness at the chest, and we'd be just behind it, following it, watching it. So again, this is realistic. This is the modern day version of the dog drone, if you like. Bit Spider-Man-ish, but there you go. Realistically, you will gain as much information as you can of any building that you're attacking. Modern day building, if it's got security devices or whether it's cameras, you will build some sort of system to take that down. Whether it's using some sort of jamming system or physically shooting the frigging things out before you go in there. So that's realistic as well. On a realistic scenario there, if you're doing something like that where you've got somebody injured, whatever, if it's one of your own, whether it's an hostage or something, yeah, you would go to your small arm because it's easier. You need as much movement as you can with your spare arm. So you'd probably go to a pistol. And you'd also have somebody close to you. One of the other team there would almost be right on your side, on your hip, with a rifle, with a long, covering you so that, you are concentrating on putting all your effort into moving that casualty, looking where you're going, finding the best route, using all your strength. And your eyes and ears and security then provided really by somebody else. Your secondary security is just your pistol, so that's why you would do that. One thing I would say, when you're securing a building, you generally don't carry that much equipment with you to secure something, or if you're going into defense of it completely, then you'd go in with all sorts of stuff, from sandbags to sort of barriers to wire, whatever it is. You want to provide sort of security within. You just improvise and use whatever materials and equipment inside the building is, such as, wall units, chairs, tables, that sort of stuff.
Op 4, last stop standing.
So you've got shooting ports, basically. You create shooting ports through whatever you can. So it's all sort of improvisation, if I'm honest.
We got the call about 12. A gang of terrorists had taken over the Iranian embassy in London at gunpoint. The negotiators were dragging it out long enough for us to drill through the walls to place surveillance devices.
John McAleese was a member of B Squadron, which was the actual team that did assault and recapture or take down the embassy, the Iranian embassy, in 1980.
We moved into position. We prepared a plan to attack the building from the front, the rear and the roof. At 19:23 hours, the lads moved in.
John was one of the team leaders of B Squadron that actually was on that assault, and he's actually one of the 3 people that were on the balcony as well. John was there. John is John McAleese. He's a very well-known member of the regiment. and respected. For him to paint that picture, that scenario, you ain't going to get no better than that. Well, of course, the scenario was real because it's based on the actual event, so it doesn't get any more real than that. I didn't realise Eric Cantona was on this Iranian MC.
Need a doorman. Roger.
The points I'm picking up here, okay, so the drills itself are accurate. You know, you went for the hinges, but the view you see down the MP5, I can picture that right now. That's exactly what it's like, the old MP5.
Cover me.
See, the point I brought up earlier on about you can't say a room is clear till you're in there. Look how small that is, but they're in there, they've checked it, the bodies are down, that's room clear. So again, the drills are correct.
Away from the hostage. Don't make this any worse. God, you came. Get down. Get on the floor.
When we train on the anti-terrorist team, everything's about headshots, and we're not afraid to go for that. And I think that just highlighted that. I'm not going to say anyway, because it's SAS, of course, but it's so accurate. The fact that, you know, everything you've seen so far, you hear radios, everyone's talking on radios, that's got noisy, and everything is now voice to voice.
Get in position. Move it down. Check they're dead.
Talking to each other. Man down, check that man's dead, move to the next door, red team. So the communication is real, the tactics are real, although of course it's cartoon and it's animated. I think if you could make an updated version with the way you make them now, that would be absolutely fantastic. Just follow that. The drills are correct, the tactics as you've seen, even from the drills, the communication, you got a chance to look from every aspect, from entry team, from the low level through the balcony level, through the high-rise level, and you saw the sort of drills that everybody did. Take it down a target, confirm he's dead, move on. And again, it highlighted one of the things that we do a lot of is accuracy, shooting. So if you end up in a terrorist scenario, nobody wants to take that shot where you've got somebody right next to each other, but we're not afraid to do it. And I think that's what that one little scenario highlighted, that because we train so highly on headshots. So yeah, although old, dated, cartoon animated, it needs to be changed. You can't get any realer scenario, so it is what it is, that's fact. It's actually a real good game. That there, right from the word go, and I'll tell you straight now, every soldier does this. This is a drill that every single one of us do. Before we move one step out of what is known as our safety, we do exactly what you just saw there. Take that magazine off, just look at it, make sure it's full, they're seated correctly, replace it, you know that's sorted. And that little half cock he just did there, again, you do that with every weapon. So you just look it over, just pull it back slightly, re-engage it. You know as soon as you pull that trigger, you're going to get action. So that was a good drill. Really good. A double tap engagement, not wasted ammunition. You're in a world of survival here. You cannot waste one bullet. None of this automatic nonsense. And again, double tapped, and it's exactly a drill that I've done every time. Double tapped it, I've got the chance, magazine off, check, refit. It's just that reassurance. So that was good to see. Yeah, exactly. Take what you can. Food, fuel, medical, everything, comms. He's engaging towards a target area. I can't see the enemy. For him, firing into a general direction, again, it's a waste of time. One, you're wasting ammunition. Two, you're giving away your position. Suppressing fire, it doesn't have to be automatic. Suppressing fire is accurate. Bang, 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 bang. Because I'm telling you, if I'm engaging somebody and I hear the rounds coming anywhere close to me, firstly, I'm glad because I've heard it, which means I'm still alive. Secondly, it makes me think now, get my head down. Just the fact that I can hear automatic fire in front of me doesn't bother me. And it doesn't bother any soldier. Best suppressive fire is accurate aim shots. That's suppressive fire, not just noise. So you've really got to be cautious and exact with what you're doing. So ammunition is key. Do not waste one single round. This is really good. The sound of a round coming close or near you is exactly what you just heard there. That is realistic. But again, for me personally, having been in this scenario a number of times, until you hear that next to your ear or close right next to you or see the splash right next to you, it wouldn't bother me. I know it's close, I know it's near, but it hasn't really owned in or near me yet. So I'd keep moving forward, I'd keep going. Okay, the last little bit there, that was a good rate of fire. I could see the person, a dark shadow running from right to left. That's fine. It's the same point, I know, but it's just, I'm playing this as real as I'd always be doing it. I would just say at this point, a shotgun, you're in a desperate situation. If you're drawing on that shotgun at this early stage, oh my God, you need to be close. If you've got an injury, at the first, every opportunity you can, you got to quickly treat it. As long as you're safe, you're secure, like you just done there, you've got yourself into a safe building out the way, quick check, deal with it as you can. And the only thing you'd really be bothered with right now is stopping any bleeding, because the rest doesn't really matter. The pain you just got to bear with. Morphine, as you probably, that cigarette indicated you'd done, maybe, but you know, you wouldn't be hanging about. You're still in a survival situation. You've just got to suck it up and get on with it. The whole thing is so authentic, you know, the breathing, the moving, the way he's carrying his weapon. I'm picking up faults that people would make in battle, but the scenario it's great. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm really getting into this. I'm thinking to myself, I've been in scenarios not too dissimilar to this. I'm thinking exactly how did I react? What was I doing? What was I thinking? And I'm putting myself in this person's mindset right now and thinking exactly. But the key thing in my mind, all the way through a scenario, is how much ammunition have I got? How long I'm going to be here for? I don't know. You just don't know how long this battle's going to go on for. So you've really got to be sort of in control of everything you are doing. Your medical supplies, your food, your water, your ammunition. You've got to be thinking and on top of your game, you know, really stay in control and focused on what is happening in front of you. In most of these sort of scenarios that you see, the throw a grenade, it's like somebody's just dropped a nuclear bomb. Big fireball, and that's totally unrealistic. What you just saw there, that's exactly what you get. The dust flying and you hear the splinters of grenade flying about. And that is about all you would get from something like an L2 grenade that you're throwing there. So that was good, that was realistic. As soon as I got a stoppage, I'd get myself into cover, straight down into cover, and I wouldn't be just heads down into my weapon. I'd have a quick look, and then I know what I'm doing, magazine off, cock it, but I'm still looking back towards where the enemy is in case anything comes. It's called an immediate action drill. You get a stoppage, you're useless. It's an immediate action. It's got to be quick, slick, fast, and then straight back into the action. Or you have a secondary weapon. As soon as you get a stoppage with the rifle would be just slung, pistol comes out, and keep going. And that wasn't too dissimilar to what was happening anyway. That one actually gets your heart pumping. And the drills are good. I mean, I'm picking up on real nitty-gritty points. I'm putting myself in that position. And I know I'm in a survival situation. Every single breath, every single step, every single round counts. And I will make it count. And that kind of gives you that feeling. The authenticity in that game is there for sure. And I do like the real good drills of checking your magazine at every stage. Yeah, when they go and get stuff, get yourself a bottle of Jack Daniels.
You go, Ghost Lead. Commander's locked.
Got it. So a coordinated shoot. I mean, the way that really works is when you've got a situation where you've got a number of targets, every sniper will pick a target. So I'm taking number 1, you've got number 2, he's got number 3, number 4. And then once everybody's identified the target, and then from one command, somebody says, look, I've got control. You know, has everybody got a target? Yeah, 1 confirmed, 2 confirmed, 3 confirmed, 4 confirmed. Everybody stand by, and it's synchronized initiation. So you take everybody down as a oneer. I mean, this is just pure entertainment. I can see what it is. I mean, from a tactical point, you could tear it apart, you know, right from the guy cammed up more like a Viking than a soldier. His hands weren't cammed up, but the rest of his body is. He's carrying his weapons, his rifles, which are his main tools, as you see right there, with the barrels facing down. Now, if that was real, and you're moving through and you're into a kneeling position, what you're going to end up with is with a barrel full of dirt, which is going to create a blockage or a breach explosion. So you would never carry weapons like that anyway, but it's entertainment. I mean, this is just entertainment. This is your Johnny Rambo type commando dude who can do everything. What I like about it is, I mean, it's entertaining. It shows you an array of weapons, array of skill sets, a lot of sniping, parachuting, jumping from helicopters, hand-to-hand combat. I mean, that just covers the whole spectrum of being a soldier and just glorifies it in a crazy sense, if you like. So you've got equipment, you've got laser rangefinders, you've got different type of sniper weapons, you've got sniper skill sets, camouflaging concealment in the snow, the Arctic, in a normal environment. So it's entertainment. I think they're the sort of films that people talk about, oh, kids shouldn't see because it shows them slitting throats and all that sort of stuff. But, in terms of entertainment and a dreamer's wannabe soldier, that's probably a good little game. Okay, yeah, the scope for the SUSAT site is very, very much like that. That's correct. That's good. From the smoke, let it build up, and then crawling into position using the ground, the sort of bun lines. It's good. It's good tactical spacing between the troops. That's good. I mean, this feels very realistic in terms of, obviously, the site you can see right now. That's the site picture you get if you're looking for a SUSAT site. The movement, crawling, and the spacing. The fact that when you are crawling, your weapon is pointing towards people. That's what happens. Yeah, coming up over cover. It's all good.
I think you're gonna die if you try and get me. No, I'll try and...
Good, nice, steady rate of fire over the old ESCO baskets, which are around every FMB. Yeah, that's nice. That's GPMG rattling from the aircraft. I mean, that aircraft scene was good. The noise and everything just felt real.
Okay, 72.
The battlefield simulation, the noises are great. All the vehicles moving around, the weapons, and the helicopter, yeah. Very realistic. The noise around you sounds very much like a battlefield, the screaming of a medic. Sound effects are perfect. The battlefield simulation on these are great. Really good. The battle scenario sound really effective. You can hear tracked vehicles, you can hear gunfire, you can hear explosions in the distance, you hear helicopters, you hear people shouting, screaming. So that all was very realistic. And then bringing in a casualty, dragging them by whatever means it takes. You just get all of them and drag them into cover. And you heard also the scream of medic, because that's what you hear. You hear that on the battlefield. As shit's going down, you hear people shouting, medic, medic. And then, people doing exactly that, dragging them into cover and then stopping the bleeding. Listen, fighting in any building is hard enough anyway. Fighting uphill on a stairwell, yeah, it's horrendous. Because you kind of get channeled anyway to one way of looking. And if you go up a stairwell, you've also got all this cover to your left that you can't see, or your right, whatever it might be. You've got whatever's in front of you. And what you generally expected when you fight on a stairwell and fighting upstairs is a grenade to come across. Because you just think any minute now, a grenade's going to come lobbing across and down that stairwell, and you're in a world of pain. Because you generally ain't going to outrun it by running down. And you ain't going to outrun it by going up. Because if you're running up, you're running into danger. So it is your worst case scenario, fighting in a stairwell and going uphill, for sure. Yeah, MP5 or whatever it was, or 56 with a suppressor. Not unrealistically, because this is a SWAT, a police type scenario. What you don't want is when you're going into a place like this, it doesn't matter who you're up against, you don't want over it penetration. A 9mm 5.56 maximum to do what you need to do. What you don't want is, big 7.62 G3 or a 5.0 to put, through the target, through the wall and create damage that you don't want to do. So weapon system for this, I would say, is correct. From the start, the equipment was great. The way I saw the guys stacking up the door wasn't too unrealistic, especially for SWAT anyway. And the way they were dressed, I saw the guy there, the body armor, medical kit on his side. Some guy had enforcers on the back. So you had all the kit with the team. So that looked pretty realistic.
Gang's ready. See that gun down. See that gun down. Arms outstretched.
The entry was great. Everybody went in, split left and right. Somewhere in the team, you'd probably have somebody with a big freaking dragon light that just lights up the whole of the room, as they are now, just individual torches. And what you saw there was they had a guy covered. So he's covering one guy, he's got him with a torchlight, then he takes his eyes off him and goes to the next guy, which is obviously dangerous. So you've got the torch on him, you make him stand up and you make him move towards where the next guy is. So you've got everybody in one line of sight. But the good thing about it is the communication in terms of people talking to each other, challenging people.
Police, hands up! Police, hands up!
So again, it's good to see they're using the equipment. This is a riot shield, which is bulletproof to a degree. You could sort of hide behind it, use a pistol. You can use an MP5 or a small weapon as well, as long as you're strong enough. This should have been the first thing through the door. Once that door was smashed open, flashbang goes in, this is the first guy through the door, because he's got cover. Everyone else is coming in behind him and splitting left and right.
Disarming traps.
I mean, if you see any IED of any sort, any device, you would not, unless you are an ATO, an explosive expert, that's what your job is. You wouldn't touch that. That device would be tamper-proof, all sorts of problems. You couldn't take that risk. If you are going to deal with it, like he is, everybody else should get the out of the way. You would not be stood either side of it, because if that goes wrong, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 people taken out.
Deploy the shotgun, use CS and...
Roger that, sir.
If you're going to, especially if you're going to use gas, you would physically, before you threw it, look around at everybody, get the thumbs up to see that everybody's ready, the respirators are fitted, because you are totally incapacitated if you get a face full of that. I only see 1 or 2 wearing a respirator. There's just no way anybody's going to operate in an environment full of gas without a respirator. Now, I've been in a situation where we've done this. We've pumped in gas, fired gas in, and then, I won't say exactly who, but somebody else attached to us decided to send a dog in there. So the dog goes running in and almost chokes to death and comes running out. However, if you do use gas, you throw gas into a room, there's no rush now for you to go in. Just throw the gas in, just let it build up, because they're going to come out. Let them cough and splutter. They'll come to you now. So you can go in more controlled and steadily, so as opposed to rushing through the door.
Gas is ready.
So the shotgun, generally you wouldn't go at the main lock, because it generally doesn't work. It's probably got deadlocks above and below it. So you're going to get what's called a failed entry. So with a shotgun, you go straight to the hinges. You know where the hinges are. You can actually see roughly. And they're normally 6 inches from the top, 6 inches from the bottom. So you put a couple of rounds at the top and the bottom, hit the door that way.
Okay, all done. Zipped up and ready.
So basically, everybody has a set of plastic cuffs, as we call them. They're normally on sort of a back pouch, and they're already into the shape of two circles, so you can just put the hand straight into them. You're not messing around. You just plastic cuff everybody, because it's just easy to control.
Okay, take out the lights. We gotta black out the LZ. Nice shot. 2 left.
The fact that you shoot out lights is indicating that you're coming. One, you're giving away that you're there, because if anybody sees that the light's getting shot out, you create a compromise straight away. So you wouldn't do that. Just leave it. Just leave it. The sniper that's doing Overwatch, okay, he's obviously, that's his own troops going in. In this bit of scenario here, the sniper is watching his own men. What he should be doing is obviously quick glance at his own men. He can see where they're at, and then just scanning everything around, not being focused on his own team. Because he's there to provide Overwatch. Overwatch means you're watching everything else around him. Let them get on and do their job.
See you on the ground.
That method of abseiling, running down forward, is totally unrealistic. I mean, you see it on the show, we use it. It's just a bull bag tester. You wouldn't abseil down a building like that, running down forward. You would go backwards. And what you would do is, somebody from your team covers you while you go down, because it's smooth, it's easy to control, and it's quick. Running down forward is a fucking nightmare. All you got to do if you run down forward is probably fucking stumble. It takes a lot longer. You can't really engage and take your hands off the rope anyway, so you might see something, but you can't do anything about it. So the run down forward is a little bit unrealistic, is what I'd say.
Drop them fast. Good shot.
The one shot that just took out the 2 people there, that's unrealistic. I mean, there's a possibility that the round could penetrate and hit the next bloke or create. It's very realistic to take out the 2 people, especially with that sort of caliber of weapon. If it was like a 50 cal, that's a possibility. It'll go easy through 2 people. That is probably a 5.56 or 7.62 size round. No, not from that range anyway. They've just come up on against the enemy there. Obviously, he's trying to take him in covertly. He's already got noise. He's turned around. He's made a challenge. They should have just shot him rather than get into a fist fight and roll around the floor and create more problems. So they just shot him.
Huge thanks to Billy Billingham for joining us on this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe as we've more on the way. And of course, be sure to check out Billy's upcoming UK tour, Always a Little Further. All the links will be in the description. Thank you for watching.